Prepare to be amazed at just how much I apparently suck at this game, because this player is now the fastest free-to-play Arbiter, and it's about the third of the time that it took me to get my Arbiter. So, yeah, we're gonna look at his account, figure out what he did right and what I did wrong. Let's jump right into today's video. In my defense, though, I want to quickly point out that it took about 5 months before I got my first legendary, so I'm just gonna blame it on that, right? I think maybe, you know what, it was probably like 7 months or 8 months before I got my first legendary. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, but no, here's a quick snapshot of the previous record holder. Okay, so he had done it in about 104 days. Today's player beat that, not by a whole lot, but by a little bit, enough to make him the new record holder, and I do have the proof from Plarium, so stick around. I will give that to you guys. Also, here's a quick overview of the roster of the previous record holder. Okay, so again, you guys need to understand exactly what made this possible, and you'll see that on this account it is similar in a sense. However, we do have legendaries that came into play. So if you think you're going to beat this with 0 legendaries or some good epics, chances are that might not exactly happen for you. So there is still RNG involved in all of this, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, now back to his account. As you can see, we have Arbiter at the bottom right here, and let's first start with the roster of champions. Yes, you do see a Warlord in here. Yes, the Warlord was used to progress towards the end. He did not get a Warlord right off the bat. He in fact got a Norog relatively early, and the Norog was pretty crucial to help him progress. He's not maxed out to level 60, but still you can kind of see that when you get solid heroes early on, it should make your overall progression a little bit easier. We don't have a counter attack on here, which I find kind of nice, but still, let's go over some of these champions right here. Sorry, so we have Warlord in a lot of speed. We have a Lightsworn, which is very useful as well. We'll come back to that on the Spider 20. We have an Aothar as sort of like his dedicated poisoner, or one of his poisoners. Really useful champion early on. Tyrell, I mean, this is a huge pull on any account early on. I still don't have one on my own account. That's probably why I didn't get the fastest free-to-play Arbiter. Totally why. Yeah, it's all because I didn't have Tyrell. Then we have the Zealota right here in a shield set. Also very crucial, very effective in the beginning for survivability. Frozen Banshee, Kale. Kale is one of the champions. He used 800 gems for all masteries, and Tyrell was the second one as well. So, he did only do that 2 times. He also did not even start with Kale. He started with a Gaelic. Apparently, he didn't know what he was doing in the beginning, and somehow figured out within 3 months how to beat the game with the fastest time possible, which is absolutely amazing. But then let's keep going here for the gear. We have Apothecary, Gorgrab, a huge pull as well. We have Richoff the Bold, Mausoleum Mage, Norog, Thenasul. We do have a Burgoth the Malformed, Gaelic, Valerie, Soulbound Boyar, 1 Armiger, 2 Armiger, and there's a third one which is currently in the vault. Let me take him out because you guys are going to enjoy this. This is the team that he used to cheese the Spider 20 and get a basically 100% success rate. All right, so he had to work with this Armiger right here being at 151 speed in the lead. Okay, so in the lead, and then with a Paragon, so that's another great pull. Really lucky. That's also probably why I didn't get the fastest free-to-play Arbiter. That must be it. I probably only got a Paragon much later on. Yeah, that sounds about right. So this one is at 150.8 speed, right? 150.8, and you do that with apparently perception pieces. The reason for this, that you got to guarantee you go before the spiderlings, and you also need to ensure you're a little bit slower than the Armiger being in the lead, taking the aggro. And as you saw in the video, basically this is how you cheese the Spider 20 with 3 Armigers, 1 Lightsworn, and 1 level 30 Paragon. This is absolutely fantastic. He also pulled a Dark Ilhane because he doesn't have his yet from the login reward program. We got a Pixniel, which he fused, and he said he kind of regret because it's not really serving any purpose for him right now. We do have Shaman, Duke the Pierce, which is a great pull, and then the rest is a little bit of extra champions. All right, so that's a quick snapshot of his roster, but now let's go see the fun stuff. We want to see what he used for the dungeons, right? So the final teams were probably a little bit different than the teams he used to progress, but still, this should give you guys a decent understanding as to what made all of this possible. So Ice Golem 20, Norog is still in there. We have Zelithot, we have a Poisoner, Tyrell, and Warlord. All right, so very crucial, but still very impressive. Let's move on to the next one. We have the Spider, which is the team that I just showed you. So this is full auto. All right, maybe we can go back to that clip a little bit at the end, but there's nothing to do. You basically just hit go, and then it works because you always have the unkillable going on the lead Armiger with the slight little speed difference, but still being just above 150. And then for the other ones, it's about having enough accuracy to do some turn meter control, which you also have on the Lightsworn. Okay, so really solid overall. This is the ultimate cheese build. You guys can do this, assuming you have a Paragon. Lightsworn could probably be replaced with another champion, a Cold Heart, probably a 4th Armiger would work as well. For Dragon 20 here, we have Tyrell, Zelithot again, Aothar as our Poisoner, which does a lot of damage. Maybe we can finish with a run of this. Apothecary and Warlord yet again. For the Fire Knight, we have this team right here, and I would assume we are missing one champ, perhaps the Aothar, I would think. Not sure why he's not in there, but still, that kind of worked for him. So I would assume that that's probably his main team there as well. All right. Minotaur probably doesn't really matter, but it's close to about a minute with the same core champions. So the takeaway from these dungeons is that once you have a core team, you use them for everything. That's how this works. Then let's keep going, and we're going to do the faction wars, because I was really impressed to see that he is progressing in here as well. He has 300, and you guys don't see this, but 338 stars done so far. And as for his teams, probably just working with whatever he has available. We can't even look at these teams because we're out of keys, but basically progressing in there as well. Arena, we are in gold 4. He does have a decent team to work with, except for his defense. He's leaving a one-man team. But let's say we pick a battle here. We do have a very typical speed lead, increased attack, more turn meter boost, AoE decrease defense into a nuker. Very straightforward, and with all the bots currently in the game, this is now possible. Probably there wasn't any bots when I started playing. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's probably also why I didn't reach the fastest free-to-play Arbiter. As for Tag Arena, we have a one-man defense team everywhere. I don't think he's trying really hard, although he is probably... Okay, yeah, he is. So he's going for one-man defense teams as well, and just farming some gold bars, because why not? You can still get the champion fragments for a legendary, and you can get the occasional energy. Great way to generate a little bit more resources. And now on to the clan boss, where we have our player right here, Entropy, which has a very reasonable team for Nightmare, and it took him 5 keys to finish the last mission. So you get 4 free in a day, and then he bought a 5th one to get his Arbiter. Not a bad deal to finish the missions. 100 gems, and you have an Arbiter. Great. So very straightforward team in the sense we don't have counterattack. We do have decreased attack, decreased defense, poison. We have a good shielder, healer, and increased speed, as well as heal yet again. And this works. So beautiful. Well done, sir. And look at this. The Doom Tower is also progressing on the hard up to floor 30, but he is done with the normal Doom Tower. Also, that's probably why he has more resources, therefore was able to progress faster. Yeah, that would explain it. That's why I didn't get the fastest free-to-play Arbiter, right? Yeah. Probably not. So there you go. This is the overview of his account and how he was able to progress. Campaign is obviously done. He has progressed a little bit on Nightmare, but it is not a priority. So here it is. The mission's completely done. We have Arbiter, and this player got this in... Not this one right here. He got this in 94 days. So 10 days earlier than the previous record holder. I'm about 2 days late here as well. It's maybe 95 days basically is now the fastest free-to-play arbiter in the game. And I did say I was going to prove that to you guys, and I have the player ID here, which was checked by the Diamond, which is our liaison over at Plarium, and he has confirmed to me that this player is in fact free to play, 100% free to play, and we even have his player ID right there so you guys can compare just in case. Okay, so 745745258, whatever, right? This is the actual dude. So congratulations to this player for putting me to shame and beating the previous record. All kidding aside, this is absolutely fantastic. Here's a quick overview of his great haul. Maxed out accuracy for the magic affinity, which makes a lot of sense for your starter champion. So now what we can do is finish with a quick run of, let's say, one dungeon. Let's just do his dragon's lair, because the spider is very straightforward. You saw that little clip in the beginning, and it's as simple as literally just pressing auto if you have the stats of the champions that I showed before. All right, so let's see how this plays out. Maybe I can even fast forward it because we're basically going to see that this works on auto, and we do have sort of everything we need for this to work. We have AoE decreased defense, we do have a Zealoth and Warlord for survivability, so we shouldn't really be in any danger of dying. We don't have a revive here, but a combination of a very good champion or two good champions for survivability can usually sort of like trump that need for a reviver. All right, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit to the next wave, which, as you can see, we walk right in there with our full health champions. So again, very, very safe. Massive shields from Warlord and Zealoth, as well as some heals. And we do have a crowd control, or two forms of crowd control on top of that from Warlord and Zealoth. So if you have those kinds of champions, in the beginning, definitely use them to your advantage. But same thing here, we're going to slowly kill all of these champions. We unfortunately don't have a ton of AoE damage, but that's alright because Eothar will be great for the boss himself because of all the extra poison. So let's fast forward to that part, which we reach in about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And at this point, it's all about just loading up some poisons on the boss himself. Eothar will be fantastic for this. Alright, so hopefully this will help you guys sort of like pick the next champions to work on for your progression. And yes, I'll say it again, he did pull Norog and Warlord, which is very effective for progression. Not everybody is going to have that kind of luck, so you need to understand that, right? So don't go calling out this guy for saying, or for like saying that basically he got lucky for this. Yes, it's a game of luck. It's all about RNG, and certain champions will make your progression a lot easier. Still, he was able to execute this in a very fast sort of time frame. So that's what we want to highlight here, the way that he was able to use all the champions that he was dealt, right? This is the hand that he was dealt. He used it perfectly, and here he is now with the fastest free-to-play arbiter in the world for the time being, until somebody else can prove us different. Okay, so if you are going to undertake this kind of challenge, do let me know in the comments below. I would love to showcase your account. This will hopefully give other players other examples of how they can maybe get to the end of the game a little bit faster, okay? And there you have it, guys. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.